Good morning, Mr. Haklao, and thank you for granting us the opportunity to interview you here in the province of Siem Reap, a province with so many cultural and, historical asset for Cambodia. So, Mr. Haklao, you have been working in the tourism industry for how many years for now?
It's been 8 years now.
8 years now.
Yeah.
So after you graduated from Chevening scholarship.
I started the job as a guide before I went to the UK for the Chevening
Oh.
scholarship when I was doing my bachelor degree here in Siem Reap back in 2016.
Yes, sir, Lau.
Yeah.
But at the same time, after you finish Chevening, like what motivates you to come back and continue as a tour guide? I mean, do you do, the study over there relating to tourism?
I've been always interested in tourism and have a strong belief in the potential of tourism in Cambodia. I did my bachelor degree here in teaching English as a foreign language, but I shifted my path to tourism because of Siem Reap potentials and everything. So when I found out about Chevening scholarship, I was very interested and I hope to broaden my knowledge in tourism and hope to bring back to Cambodia. And also the nature of Chevening scholarship, they look for people who want to come back home and develop their own country. Because I think the UK do not need us to stay there, but
I see.
our country needs us more to come back and help contribute. So that's why I come back here to continue my job because tour guide job is really fun. I've learned a lot from different people.
You meet different
Yeah,
people, you're not on the same place in the office.
right,
no.
right. And I love the freedom and meet different people all the time. So learn a lot from each other. So that's why I come back here and want to contribute more to Cambodia. And the course that I studied in the UK, I focus more on destination marketing, community-based tourism.
So it's still related to your
Yeah,
career.
so that's probably one of the reasons why I want to promote Cambodia. Help promote Cambodia better.
Yes,
in the
Mr.
future.
Lau. But when you look at the tourists, especially in the Angkor Park and around Cambodia, in general, some people they believe that okay, hiring a tour guide on their trip is what they need. Some people might say, oh, I know the place, I speak the language, so maybe I do not really need the tour guide. So from your tour guide perspective, between a trip that has tour guide and does not have a tour guide, do you think that it is difference in their experiences?
100%. It helps them experience the country better. But from my perspective, when I travel, also based on my budget, and I want to understand the place. But when I looked at the price of the tour guide, it's more than what I can afford. So I decided to just read about the place and go around myself. But it would be different to have a tour guide because you have a local person to talk to the whole trip, and that local person represents the country. You can understand the country better, not just the history, but also how Cambodian live and the daily life from one person's lens, and that's the tour guide. $1. It's 1 meal already. What she puts inside is the sekuang beef skewer. She put 2 of those in the bread. Some beautiful made pickles. Delicious. This is Pub Street, everyone. Beautiful. Cheap
But
food.
yes, sir, but at the same time for Cambodian tourists, if they hire a tour guide, maybe an extended tour, of course, not a 1 or 2 day tour, what can they learn about their country, from tour guide more than, what they can just, go and explore by themselves? What is the special treat if they hire a tour guide in Cambodia?
I think as a local, we should all know our history.
Yep.
And I think it's really important to learn about our heritage from like an expert, let's say. But for me, I wouldn't say that I'm an expert in history, but I can provide essential information and push them to learn more about the country from where they come from. I would say that I can inspire people to learn about their country a lot if they hire a tour guide. But like I said, I have received a lot of messages from local, and they asked how much I charge per day and what tours included. When I give them the price, they seem to feel like, oh, I am Khmer. Why is he charging very high? But I need to keep my standard fee, and that is my fee. I cannot go lower than that.
It's not economically viable.
Right,
Yeah.
because I will spend my time. I've spent years of
Learning.
investments, learning. So also I want to be fair. Yeah, right. That's why locals do not want to have the tour guide with them. I think that's probably the budgets. But if they have like 5 people in the trip or 10 people in the trip, it's not that, it doesn't sound that expensive. Let's say it's a cost of 2 coffees per person to hire a tour guide. Think it this way.
So, Mr. Lau, for example, in the Angkor Thom, enclosed city alone, there are so many monuments, and some of them are hidden behind the canopies, and every monument have their own, let's say, detail, their own, story behind it. So, when Cambodian people hire a tour guide, that is the thing that they can learn, right, from those hidden, let's say, hidden gems of Angkor Thom alone.
Right.
Yeah.
For example, I posted a video about Prepalilai, and many other people also post about Prepalilai. But a lot of people don't know where Prepalilai is located.
You mean the Prepalilai temple?
Temple, right. Let's say that's one of the hidden temples that most tourists don't reach to that temple, or they forget about it, or it's not on Google Map unless they zoom it very low to see, zoom in to see the temple on the map. But it is really beautiful. And I think the locals here in Siem Reap know where to take them to based on their interest.
Yes, Mr. Lau. But you have introduced a lot of foreign, tourists coming to Cambodia, and in your Instagram and TikTok, you have a lot of followers, of course, for across let's say the platform. And when I scroll through it, of course I see temples, but at the same time I see buffalo. I see rice field, I see palm tree, and grass or people walking in the village. Is that what the foreigners want to see in Cambodia? Not just the temple. Is that what you want to express?
It is true. Tourists want to experience something different, not just the temple. But because a lot of people that I've met, most of them know Cambodia. When they think of Cambodia, it's Angkor Wat. Everyone knows that, right? So when they come here, I love to introduce them more than just the temple. So we take them to the countryside for sunset, for example, just 15 minutes away from Siem Reap to see beautiful sunset. Or we go to some like nature around there, or the bird watching area, Peren community. There are so many things to explore in Siem Reap, but people don't know about it. So I start my like themes each week or sometime each month to tell different story of what we can offer here in Siem Reap. And I think that's what makes my work stand out more compared to other people. Because I started doing this Instagram very consistently since late 2022. So I had the campaign called Let Me Show You Cambodia, from part 1 to part 10, but I still have one more to do. Haven't had the part 10 yet. But so I try to show people different things, what we can offer in Siem Reap and also in Cambodia. When I started the countryside theme, people seem to be very interested.
But why, Bong? Like, why, people from the Western world, so modern, so sophisticated, they like buffalo?
Because they don't have that in their country.
It's that simple.
Yeah, they don't find that in their country. We can tell as a tour guide, when we travel through the countryside and they look out the car, they look out the window, they see, oh my God, buffalo, stop, we want to take a photo. And that's what made me think, I want to show them more about the countryside and the daily life of the people. When I tell my guests about the Cambodian life, I often refer to people who live in the countryside, because in the city we are more diverse. There are so many different kind of cultures here influencing our culture. So it's so diverse, and I want to show them more what the authentic Cambodia is, which is more like in the countryside, how people live. We see still houses, we see rice fields, we see people fishing, or sometimes kids taking the cows to the fields. All of this is really interesting to tourists. If
But
we can stop to explain them what's going
Yeah.
on here, they are really happy to learn about this country.
But at the same time, they also want to learn a bit about the temples, right?
Of course.
And when they learn about it, like what part of the temple are they most interested about? The size, the sculpture, the history, the
This depends on the interest of different traveler. Let's say Asia, they would prefer to take a lot of photos. So we'll show them like the best spot for photos.
the picturesque
Yeah,
spots.
of course. And
Yeah,
also
yeah.
we tell them history, not just go and take photos. 'Cause we will also want them to learn. But we can already tell as a tour guides, we can tell that they are interested in history or not when we start our conversation, when we first meet. So when we greet, we say hello, let's say we break the ice, right? This is when we know that they will be interested in history, or they will be interested in like just photography, or it's a mix.
So the first time you met them is when you scan them.
Yeah,
You scan
yeah,
them
yeah.
right there.
Right.
Yeah.
We know, I'm sure that a lot of tour guys also know that when they first start talking about history, we can tell on their facial expression, or they start asking a lot of questions. When it include topic like, photography and stuff, and we can see if they are really interested into this or into that. But a lot of people that I've met, because I've worked only with English-speaking people, so let's say mostly Westerners, they are really interested in history. Or some people will already tell us that we want to take a lot of photo before they arrive, so we can prepare ourselves.
Yes.
Even for me, sometimes I try to stalk my guests like, to see who they are. They are professors or they are just travelers.
Yeah.
This,
So to give
yeah,
them
yeah.
The best of experience that you
right,
have.
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So I can better prepare myself when I meet them. Very nice. I love it.
And yes, Mr. Lau, like, is there, in general, and maybe the information that you may learn from your colleague, is there like a general preference depending on nationality, for example, not stereotypical, but just a general preference. Like Indian tourists, they are interested in the Mahayana story, the Mahabharata story. Maybe the French, they are more interested in architecture. Maybe Chinese, they are interested in picture. Maybe do you see that common preference in between nationality, or it is different on different people, just like that?
I think it's different based on the people's interest. It's not just a nationality.
No,
That's based on my experience. So probably other tour guide, the experience different. But based on my experience, the different people, different personality. I've met a lot of Indian who are so interested in photography. I've met a lot of Indian who are so interested in
Mythology.
history, mythology. But most of them already know mythology because they grew up with it.
Yeah.
So we just here to tell them, okay, this is Ramayana and this is Mahabharata, and they already know that.
It doesn't mean that we have Mahayana writ sculpted on the wall and then they are interested. It's not always like that.
No,
It could be like, oh, okay, I know this already, so let's move on, something like that.
we can just go. We point out like different characters, and this is the characters, and this one, and they already understand. Oh my God, this is so interesting. Our culture reached so far from India, and they very proud that they can see the influence on the Cambodian temple walls. We don't have to explain it in details because they already know a lot already. Yeah.
Yes, Lau. But at the same time, for some, okay, they might think, oh, a tour guide, they just like, okay, go and explain to people. But I think that, the career is deeper than that. It is more competitive, it is more time consuming, energy consuming than that. So ideally, based on your perspective, or maybe, the general perspective, what is the ideal, characteristics of a tour guide? Maybe you have to be physically strong. You have to know your audiences. You have to know a lot of history. So what are the characteristics that makes a tour guide a good tour guide?
There could be so many things. It could take me months to talk about how to be a good tour guide.
Yeah.
But we don't have to be like so expert deep into history. Because if they want history, they would hire a historian or an archaeologist to tell everything. And it's very overwhelming when we tell guests about the temples, because the Cambodian history is so rich and very long. It could sound very complicated, but also we have to understand our audience. As a tour guide, it doesn't matter if they speak bad language or good language. If we cannot communicate, it's their fault. If we talk to, for example, someone who doesn't speak English and they speak a little bit of English, and then the tour guide is here to just, spill out all the words in English and technical words, and the
That's
guests don't
not
understand,
good, yeah.
it's their fault because they don't understand the audience. They don't understand how to talk to different audience. So we need to know our audience, who they are. It doesn't matter if we can speak broken English during the tour so that our guests
okay.
understand, and slow. It doesn't matter. Being friendly, like I talked before with Nisai, I was an introvert. I am still an introvert. But the tour guide job really teach me a lot. I smile a lot. Like I often say, I learn from my friend. We smile 1,000 times a day to make everyone happy. If you are happy, they are happy. If the guests come here and see the boring looking tour guide, they don't want to go on that tour. So we have to think like what excites a tour guide to wake up every morning and share different story to people. So we have to remember that we may tell the same story,
But in a different way.
we may tell the same story every day to everyone. If the tour guide does not love his job, he will get bored, and the guests will notice
They will
that
notice.
the tour guide is getting bored of their job, and they will not be happy. So we need to think of what's happening tomorrow. Like I always think, I want to see sunrise tomorrow. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. I want to capture the best sunrise for my guests and also for my contents. And that keeps me excited every day to wake up, to show them, to show my culture. This is called passion. We love our job. So we want to share our passion with people around the world. And being friendly, patient. Patient is probably one of the most important one, because some people may take a long, long time to take one photo. Or they could wait for an hour to just to capture that one spot until that person move. So the tour guide has to be so patient and maintain the smile. If he loves the job, he will keep smiling and be happy. It's okay, take your time. I love to take this photo too. So I show my interest that I want to take that photo too with the guest. What's excites me the most is when I see the guest expression for the first time, seeing the temple.
Oh.
I feel like it's my first time too, because they're so happy, and I show my happiness that I'm very happy to be here with you, and I'm happy that you love the Cambodian temples. So the ideal characteristic would be, first of all, friendly, welcoming, patient, smile a lot.
But also physicality, maybe, you walk all the time, you drive
Yeah.
under the UV light all day long,
Some people could get bored, but
Yeah.
the different interests of the tour guide. I love being active, so we need to be physically
Strong.
active.
Yeah.
Not super strong, but physically active is acceptable for the tour. So understand that we will walk around 10 to 15,000 steps every day. But you need to know yourself as well. Like, for example, some part of the temple that we think we should not climb, but we let the guests go. We can tell them, you can spend your own time here for 15 minutes up there. I'll be waiting for you here. We need to know how to take care of ourselves as well, because we walk every day. The knees may not stay strong for the next 10 years.
I see,
right?
I see.
So, yeah, physically active, history about the place, deep passion for the job.
And, of course, the passion.
Right, yeah. Passion is the most important one. And interpersonal skill. Interpersonal skill is probably the most important, because we need to quickly make connection with people that we just met. for the next 6 hours on tour, let's say. So let's say I meet you today and I take you on tours. How do we get to know each other fast so that the guests trust us for the next 6 hours on tour?
So
And
you don't talk to them before they come on telephone or on, let's say video call? No,
most cases, no.
no.
Sometimes we don't
Yeah.
even know where they come from. We just see their names and then pick them up tomorrow at 5 a.m. from the
Wow.
temple. So
Okay.
what I often do is I stalk them, who would be the possibility, who they are, possibly, like that.
So in summary, so you don't bring Siem Reap to them, but you bring them to Siem Reap,
Right.
So it's like we cater more to the need of the tourist. And Mr. Lau, like of course, I mean, each tourist have their own way of touring. If the person has, in general, 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, 2 week, how do you recommend them if they, were to tell you to recommend them on that time frame in Siem Reap?
Right. Most people that message me, they have one night in Siem Reap, unfortunately.
Okay.
And because they only here for Angkor Wat, for one temple. It is so, sometimes it makes me sad because Cambodia is massive and they are here for just one night. Because most of them did not originally plan for Cambodia. They came to Thailand or they came to Vietnam, and then why not come to see Angkor Wat? It's here. The flight is just another $100 or $200. We should make it here now to take the list. So changing people's perspective before they come, probably the most important thing for us to do so that they can plan their trip better. Nothing will change their mind so that they extend their flight for 1 week to see more in Siem Reap. Of course not. It doesn't matter how much they know about Cambodia now. They say, oh wow, so many things to do, I wish I had more time. They will not change or extend their stay, change their flight.
So why do you think they don't want to change?
Because
is it there's too much more to do in the neighboring countries?
For example, if their flight costs $2,000 from USA, and they already planned their trip for 1 week,
round
right?
trip, yeah.
So if they want to change the flight, how much does it cost that they have to pay on their flight? This is something that we have to think about. Some people may change, but not
Very
everyone.
rarely.
Not everyone would extend their flight or cancel the trip in Vietnam that they originally planned for.
So what you mean is that we have to inform them since they were planning the trip
Yes.
in their country.
Right. This is the planning process for every traveler before they go to any country. They read everything. And the mistake of all the tour guides that they think that people don't know before. They don't know about what tourist trap is. They don't know about what's happening in here. But tourists know everything before they come. They've done a lot of research. That's part of the planning process of everyone.
Yes.
So first they would think, yeah, just Angkor Wat. That's it. Because our destination marketing, my perspective is still limited. And we are working together now to improve this, right? Including you and me and everyone else. We work to improve on this, so hoping people would plan a trip longer to stay here. So I would recommend them, like, if they come for just 1 day, 6-hour trip, we would see just a normal classic Angkor Wat, and then Ta Prominent Bayon or Preparalai, my favorite. I often say to them, I always say Preparalai is my favorite because I want them to see that one. And there is no one going to Preparalai. Often we end up just the only tourist at that temple. And that's what makes my tour special, because they end up the only person at that temple. So they feel special. That's 1 day. But if people want to come for like a week, now we can take advantage of the new airport. Bang Milia Temple is close by. Koke temples are close by.
Relatively close by.
So there are resorts near Kulen. I take them that way. So when they arrive from the airport, I take them straight to the resorts near Kulen, and then they can visit Koh Keh and Bang Mili and then Phnom Kulen and come down to Siem Reap to see other parts of here. A lot of people think this is the best way to do. I've done it many times, and this is what I suggested to other tourists to take advantage of the new airport. Those areas very close by. But what people were not happy about was the roads to Koh Keh, like this.
But isn't it adventurous? You know.
I would say adventurous, but they pay for the tickets,
Yeah.
and they expect the service
To be a bit more better than that. Let's
right,
say.
right.
Yeah.
That's the people perspective. But when they came to Siem Reap, they were like, wow, Siem Reap is amazing. The infrastructure is perfect. We have food paths, we have everything here in Siem Reap, so they're very happy. It's also a good point as well to show one part of Cambodia and then come to Siem Reap to see many other tourists. That would take them 10 days easily between the new airport, Koh Keh, and then up to Kulen and down to Siem Reap. In the rainy season, from like let's say from now to February, there are more activity to do. We have Kampung Pluk village or Kampung Kleng village that is now flooded. The best time to visit, so they have more options to see. But in the dry season, it's difficult because people often feel disappointed when they go to Kampung Pluk village in the dry season.
It's all dried out.
Yeah, and it's not the best time to visit for them.
Yes, Mr. Lau, I just want to focus on that also because you mentioned about the low, let's say the dry season and the rainy season. But you know, there's a countering idea. Dry season, they call it the high season. And then the rainy season, they call it the low season. So as a tour guide, you know, do you really think that the rainy season is really that hard to bring people around?
Rainy season is probably the best time to visit Siem Reap, to visit Cambodia in general. It is the most beautiful time of the year. And it's really underrated, like I often say. That's why I also do my content, try to show them, come to Cambodia in the rainy season. It's so underrated, it's beautiful. And thing is a lot cheaper. But if we talk about Western tourists, during, let's say, our low season, it's their summer. So they have long summer holiday.
I see.
They want to go somewhere with the sun and lie down on the beach, something like that. And they may consider somewhere close by, Europe, Spain, or somewhere with the beach. Or they think, let's go to the beach. Which country they think of first in Asia? Right? Bali. They will think
Bali,
of like islands in Thailand. Do we have islands? We do. But people don't know about it. Vietnam. So it depends on the branding of each country. So when they look for the summer holiday, they want to go somewhere with the sun and lie down on the beach. That's why most Western travelers, they choose beach destination. For us, we have the temple, but people are not always looking for the temples. Some people see the temple for one day and they feel like they want to do something different.
I see.
So
I see.
I don't call it the low season or high season. We can make the whole year high season, except March, April, and May, because that's the hottest time. That would be very difficult for Western tourists to really enjoy our country because it's really, really hot. So the high season, like let's say a high season, December, they have Western travelers or those who are Christian, they have their Christmas holiday. So they plan a trip here, or everyone is traveling to around the world, not just us. So we have a lot of tourists to Siem Reap. Everywhere is fully booked during that time. Plus, Cambodia is known for the cooler time.
Yep.
November, December, January. That's why the number of tourists here in Siem Reap is packed. So many people. And I think we need to think that more, how to manage the tourist flow the whole year. What can we do? And we also think together, what can we do to manage the tourist flow so that they can come the whole year, not just within these 3 months, November, December, January.
And the rest of the year?
Yeah, the rest of the year we are...
we still like scrambling for tourists.
Right, yeah. I understand during March, April, May, that it would be difficult for a lot of people. This is so understanding. we understand it. So, but we have to think more about how to scatter the tourists for the whole year, tourist flow. So I don't say it's high or low season. Rainy season is the best time to visit Cambodia.
And Mr. Lau, like what makes you a special tour guide also is that you create content. You said a very frequent content, and each content cater to like the rural life, something like that. So how did you come up with that idea? Like working at the same time, creating content at the same time, and generally, is it hard to do both?
I think I still have a lot of free time, despite doing all of these things. I'm not busy enough. If I still have time to go to the coffee shop, if I still have time to go to the bar, I'm not busy enough. I want to do more.
Okay.
So I always have, like, I want to contribute to Cambodia rather than keep complaining. Like, I don't have tourists. People keep saying the same thing, but we should all start doing it. Each person contributes something to our country. No one will help us, only us all can do this. So it's one of the thing, like creating contents help me see things differently every day. We see sunrise different every day, different colors every day. So it's always something new to do. Since I started my social media, at that time I don't think anyone had
the idea
a
to do that,
viral Instagram account in Cambodia and also in English language.
Yeah.
And this is my promise to Chevening scholarship actually.
your project.
When I wrote an essay to Chevening scholarship, I said my short-term plan to come back to Cambodia and promote this country better, especially ecotourism. Because in 2019, when I look at the Ministry of Tourism report, only 2% of tourists visit ecotourism places, which is like the 4 provinces in the east of Cambodia. And that's what made me think I want to promote Cambodia different. And this is my promise to the scholarship in my essay, my short-term plan. So when I came back, I didn't realize that was my plan in the Chevening essay. So I start my content every day, and then after 90 days, some of the videos just went viral.
So can I ask you, like, which video that boosted your page, virally?
I posted just normal thing, before, just sunrise, temples. But then I had the idea, like, let me show you Cambodia. So on each reel, I put, let me show you Cambodia. Today, I'm offering my guests a tour to one of the most underrated places in Cambodia. And I come with this car today, so luxurious. Now we are at Prasat Pram, one of the most beautiful temples in Khokhe area. I wish people know more about this place because it's so unique and so different compared to the temples we find in Angkor. These carvings here are from 10th century. The details are still here. All of these here, they're all from 10th century.
What have you got, Lau, in your hand?
It's a 50,000 real notes. We got this elephant here, printed on the Cambodian notes. There's so many temples here. It's really hard to choose which one and to go to. Yeah. John has been here 5 times.
Wow.
I forgot how many times I've been here. But this temple never failed to impress me. Till we climb up to the top, then we can tell how high this temple is, and we see the view around, just so breathtaking up there. The challenge begins. Climbing up steps.
166 steps.
Wow, well done, John, thank you. If it's too hard, stay hydrated, everyone.
Sweet.
A coconut helps. Part 1. It keeps people attention and they want to see part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. Let me show you Cambodia part 1. I showed Kulen and then the temple in the rainy season. And it just went viral and people were like, wow, so beautiful, I want to go. And then a week later I did part 2, different like countryside and daily life. It just went viral again. And I thought, okay, this is what I'm going to do now. Keep posting it consistently and it just went viral. But then after a year, I have noticed so many other content creators trying to do similar thing. So I shift my focus to the rain in Cambodia, the sunset in the countryside in Cambodia, the buffalo, this simple thing. And again, it's going viral because I'm doing something different from other people. And then after half a year, I've seen other people starting to do countryside, starting to do sunset. And then I thought, I should do something different. And that's when I started showing my face on my content. Before, I never showed my face.
Like more
Yeah.
human connection.
So
yeah,
I start talking about stuff, but I never tell them history because history could create a debate.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I never tell them history.
pick
I
most
only
stuff,
tell
yeah.
like, this is so underrated to see, and this is probably one of the best place to see in Siem Reap. So I start showing my face, and people start to follow more. So now I have to think a different content again. If I see people doing similar thing, I'll try to do something different. So to show different part of the country.
Yes, Mr. Lau.
For me, I want to go around the country and show more, but spending your own budget is not ideal, you know. Working for the country, but spending so much of your own budget, it's I would say we all need support as content creator. At least a free stay at a hotel, so that we don't have to spend too much when we go to that place.
And the
which-
lower the price,
Yeah,
the
all
better,
over the price.
the better you can attract more tourists.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, it's basic economy.
Right. Like I've got some free stays in Kampot or free stays at Koh Song Sa to show different part and different tastes of traveling in Cambodia. So I want to do more of that around the country.
Yes, Mr. Lau. The last question also, when you get a customer from abroad, or maybe maybe your colleague or something like that, do you often meet foreigners who revisit Angkor, or I mean in proportion to the newcomers, let's say, and if they revisit Angkor, what is the reason that they come again? Because I heard some experts, because they love archaeology, they are basically archaeologists. They say that Angkor is the place to visit and revisit. So do you get a lot of revisitors, let's say, coming to Angkor?
I have had other visitors that came back to Siem Reap. In their perspective, they said this area has a soul. When they come here, they feel alive. Let's say they see the temple, but the jungles surrounding the temples is something else as well. It's so peaceful and so calm. To just ride a bike around the park, it's really beautiful. They don't come back for just the temple itself. They come back for a lot of things, for the whole Siem Reap, let's say. And they want to see something different in Siem Reap. Because for the first time when they came, like other traveler, let's say, they came to Cambodia for one night to just see the temple, like Angkor Wat. And then they fall in love. They were like, oh, I wish I knew about this. I want to come back in the future. So these people are the one that will come back again to see more of Siem Reap, not just the Angkor temples, because there are so many things here to offer. So it's still useful for us to tell them more about different places in Cambodia and
More than just
more
the
than just the
temples.
temple. So hopefully they will come back again in the future, or they could tell their friends to come back or to visit Cambodia in the future. And like I have had a couple that came here in 2018, and then they came again last year, November, with me.
Very early.
Yeah. They came again, and one of the reasons they came again was they want to learn about me. They said in 2018 actually, late 2018.
Yeah.
They were like, who would have thought you went to the UK, you got this scholarship? At the time you were the tour guide, you're just a tour guide,
Yeah.
After the tour, you're done. So we keep contact on social media, and they have followed my journey. They were like, this person is so inspiring. I want to come back to see him. So they come for the people, not the temple. Like I mentioned before, people thought of Cambodia just Angkor Wat. But when they're here, they fall in love with the lifestyle of the people. They fall in love with the food and the friendliness of the people and the beautiful landscapes of Cambodia. And the impression on the temple is lower than the impression on the people in Cambodia. So this is the missing point. Like we can market Cambodia differently, and Angkor Wat, the word Angkor Wat is overused from my perspective. So that's what I'm trying to do. So we show different part of Cambodia, show the countryside, the lifestyle of the people, the smile of the people, and myself try to smile a lot.
To get creative.
Yeah. So they came here. They had 10 days. They said, yeah, I want to see other part of Cambodia too. But then I just showed them Siem Reap, and still not enough. They were like, oh, I wish I had 2 weeks now. I took advantage of the old airport or the new airport. So got them to Kulen and then Koke and that area to see more. So 10 days. It's filled with activities. So we have a lot to do here. If people like, if we consider different types of tourists, we got backpackers or we got family and seniors. We can cater them differently. Show them more. Backpackers, they want to see a lot of things, but on budget.
And senior, they want like a retreat.
Yeah, of course. That would be something slow and relax, but they could stay here longer. We give them similar experience, but slow and relaxed.
And maybe family, like with some children, they want somewhere like softer.
Something fun with the children. Also like
fun.
A positive person that can engage the children when seeing the temple.
So the job of a tour guide is not easy. You have to cater from the young children to the grandpas and grandmas, something like that. Yeah.
To others' eye, they may think it's easy.
Yeah.
I mean, the tour guides think it's easy because they have the passion for it. But if someone do not have the passion and they think, oh, tour guide can earn a lot of money, and they come and they want this job, after a month or 2 months, I think they will give up because it's a lot to do. And they meet different types of people as well.
Yeah.
If we meet all positive people on the tour, they will have a lot of fun. But if they meet negative people on the tour, after an hour, I wish it's done soon.
I see.
But patience is the most important here. Like always mention.
So thank you so much, Mr. Lau,
okay.
for your insightful interview. And yes, and Siem Reap, of course, is a very big place, and not only Angkor. And I hope that more and more people will come to visit outside Angkor. Also Angkor, but outside Angkor.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lau.
Thank you for having me.